The missing part of your story so far is the situation that Obama inherited, and both a real unhappiness with the policies that had been conducted by the previous administration, rightly or wrongly, in both Iraq and Afghanistan, a kind of weariness, but then compounded and recompounded, of course, by a terrible, the worst economic recession since the Great Depression. Which, if you look at American history, American interventionism, American involvement, American interest in the world is heavily influenced by those kinds of situations. So you have a post-Vietnam period, which was also accompanied by economic strife, and you get the foreign policy of the Carter administration. And in general, if you look at American foreign policy in terms of general intervention, it's kind of like a sine wave. We go through periods of high intervention. We're usually disillusioned and unhappy with we start off with great expectations about what we're going to accomplish, and then somehow we don't always meet those expectations, and we sort of lose steam. For me, it's hard to imagine a president elected in 2008, let alone a president from the opposition party, who wasn't going to, in some way, try to dial back the involvement for both economic and political reasons. The question is, not was that inevitable? I think that was inevitable, but whether things could be done intelligently or not intelligently. And again, through my long history, my long study of American history, the odds of us doing it intelligently are low. I hate to break it to everybody, but we're not really geniuses at conducting foreign policy. We're very successful because we're very rich, we're very powerful. We have, I think, a very good set of moral codes, which are generally quite attractive, but genius in the conduct of foreign policy is not really our thing. Now, that's true of most countries, by the way. Nobody conducts intelligent foreign policy, in my view. But so that's just kind of a background. How much do we have to sort of say this is a uniquely bad conduct of foreign policy, or this is kind of a predictable trend?